Hello and happy equinox to you. This is a very special day because this marks the beginning of spring for our hemisphere. This equinox is a time of renewal and rebirth. We're coming out of a time when we had cold, some of you may have had snow. It's a time of endings, destruction, things kind of coming apart and going dormant. And with this equinox, it's a time where we're shifting out of that and shifting into a new space where new things are being born and new things are coming to fruition. Equinox is also a term that refers to the equality between day and night. It's not exact equality, but there's more day than there was during the winter where we have longer nights and there's more darkness. And so if you think about the implications of that, you can see why it has such a spiritual significance for so many people. Other holidays that are celebrated during this time are Nowruz, which is the Persian New Year. And so for a lot of cultures, this is actually the beginning of the year and it's observed as such. They don't look at January as being the beginning of a new year. Also, Holi is a holiday that's celebrated. You usually will see people throwing colored powders on themselves, okay? Somewhat related also, I believe, to the New Year. And also Easter. So this year we're not celebrating Easter until April 25th, but it's typically the first Sunday after the full moon, so it would be this Sunday. So you could kind of see how the spring equinox has implications that kind of are cross-cultural and can be felt throughout many different spiritual traditions. And a lot of that, like we said, has to do with the fact that it's going from a time of dormancy, endings, death, destruction, and coming into a new thing with renewal and rebirth. Another thing that's happening today that's also quite important for many people is that we have the last supermoon of the year. And so they're calling this the full superworm moon. And people celebrated this moon and called it this because after the snow would thaw and the rains would come, you would see this dramatic increase in the number of worms that you had in the soil. And so if you think about worms and the function that they have, the role that they play in our ecosystem, they prepare the soil. They take dead and decaying things and process it, and they enrich the soil so that it becomes a fertile space for these new things that are now going to come up in the spring to take root in. So going from a time of not having, anything growing because it's cold and it's not a good environment for that, before you have that growth, there's also a preparation that happens. And so that's how I see those worms and the significance of this full moon. Also, if you follow all of the different, moons that we've had, these blood moon eclipses, all these things, it's been somewhat of a turbulent time for many people, starting back in, August, September, so on. We started having all these different things happening in the sky. And so with this being the last super moon and we're coming into this new cycle, you can make that connection. And so many people do, different types of ways of observing this, and they have things of meaning and significance for them. And one of the things that I've made the decision to do during this time is I have made the decision to shift my energy from this channel to another tarot channel that I feel will be a space that I can be more in alignment with the energies that I would like to channel. So when I first started this channel, I did it as something that was just kind of a way for me to express or to really allow myself the space to practice reading tarot and to kind of share that on a platform. However, my intention in doing that was to do it anonymously. If you ever see my videos, you probably notice that I don't show my face, I don't have my name, I don't have any of that. And my reasoning for that is because I really feel like as a reader, when you're connecting with an audience or connecting with people, you are coming into an almost intimate space, or you're having an exchange, an energetic exchange. Even when it's a large collective and you're picking up different things, at some level that's happening. And so on a large scale, like, that doesn't bother me so much. However, I feel more comfortable doing that when it's anonymous and I don't have individuals that actually know me in real life that are also in that space. And it's a boundaries thing for me. I feel like I can work at my best and I can be a more clear channel when I have those very clear boundaries. And I can create a type of almost intimate, sacred space in which I can connect with the people who I believe are synchronistically being sent to where I am to hear something I'm saying in that moment at that point in time for them. And so I'm not ending tarot reading, but I'm just, like I said, shifting to a new channel, both literally and figuratively. Okay, just changing the frequency so that I can truly, go back to having an anonymous space so that on a personal level, I can create the type of connection that I need to in order to channel as clearly as I possibly can. And without self-consciousness about what I feel needs to be said. Okay. In addition to this new channel that I'm shifting to for tarot, I'm also starting a second channel. And on this channel, I'll be doing more of like visual artistry and more like just artsy, creative stuff at that level. So both of these will be anonymous, so I will not be posting the link. But I do want to say that I thank all of my subscribers, everyone that's ever liked or shared your story in the comments. I can't tell you how much of an impact it's had on my life. When I first started the channel, I had 7 subscribers, and it was like my sisters and a couple friends, and I just put my videos out, and every once in a while people would watch it, and it was almost like you're talking to yourself, but that was okay. And when I started to have people, connect, when I made the shift to doing zodiac reads, and I started to hear people comment back and share their stories, it just really opened it up for me. It really kind of shifted the experience I had. And that's something that I'm very grateful for, for everyone that's ever subscribed and or if I've connected with you or resonate with you at any level. And I hope that, I know that we'll come across each other again. Maybe you'll know it's me, maybe you won't. But I feel like if we're meant to, then that'll come together. Maybe something will resonate and you'll see it there. And maybe you'll be a subscriber there. Okay. Before I end this video, I want to leave with an equinox blessing. And this is called To Bless the Space Between Us. And it's written by John O'Donohue. On the day when the weight deadens on your shoulders and you stumble, may the clay dance to balance you. And when your eyes freeze behind the gray window and the ghost of loss gets into you, may a flock of colors, indigo, red, green, and blue, come to awaken in you a meadow of delight. When the canvas frays in the currach of thought and a stain of ocean blackens beneath you, may there come across the waters a path of yellow moonlight to bring you safely home. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your life. All right, my beautiful people. I hope to see you in another place. So until that time, peace be with you.